Most people spend their entire lives inside their thoughts without ever questioning them. They assume the voice in the head is who they are. They trust it, defend it, obey it. And because of that, they live in reaction rather than awareness, in repetition rather than freedom. From the moment you wake up, thought begins narrating your life. It tells you who you are, what today means, what might go wrong, what you should fear, and what you must protect. And because it speaks constantly, it feels intimate, familiar. But familiarity is not truth. If thoughts were truly you would be able to stop them at will. Yet try this for a moment. Ask the mind to be silent for just 10 seconds. You'll notice that thoughts continue, sometimes louder than before. Something you cannot stop cannot be who you are. Thought is a function of memory. It is built from the past, from experience, conditioning, trauma, reward, imitation. Every belief you hold was learned. Every fear was absorbed. Every opinion was borrowed. Thought is never fresh. It only rearranges what has already been. Yet we trust thought as if it is intelligent in itself. We let it shape our self-image, our relationships, our sense of worth. A single thought can make you feel confident or broken, and we call that power. But that is not power. That is vulnerability. Notice how thought creates division. It says, I should be different. I am not enough. They are wrong. I must protect myself. The moment thought divides, conflict begins. Inside first, then outside. And we live in that conflict as if it is normal. But something in you is aware of thought. You notice thoughts arising. You notice them repeating. You notice them contradicting each other. That noticing is not thought. It is awareness. And awareness does not judge. It sees. The moment you see a thought as a thought, it loses authority. It may still appear, but it no longer commands. This is not suppression. It is understanding. And understanding dissolves illusion without effort. Most people try to change their thinking by replacing negative thoughts with positive ones. But that is still thought manipulating thought. That is like rearranging furniture in a burning house and calling it transformation. Real freedom does not come from better thoughts. It comes from seeing the nature of thought itself. Seeing that thought is mechanical, predictable, repetitive, limited, useful for practical matters, but dangerous when it becomes your identity. Thought tells stories. Stories about who you are. Stories about what others think of you. Stories about the future. And 90% of these stories never happen. Yet the body reacts as if they are real. That reaction creates anxiety, fear, ambition, jealousy, comparison. And we blame the world, not realizing that the world we suffer in is largely constructed by unexamined thought. Watch how thought labels experience immediately. Something happens, and thought says, this is bad. This is unfair. This means something about me. The label comes before understanding, and once labeled, perception is distorted. But if you pause, even for a second, and watch without naming, something extraordinary happens. The experience remains, but the suffering drops. Because suffering is not in the fact. It is in the story. You are not the thinker. You are the space in which thinking happens. Just as clouds move through the sky, thoughts move through awareness. The sky is not disturbed by the clouds. It allows them. This is not a philosophy. It is a direct observation available now. Right now, a thought may arise. You can see it come. You can see it go. You remain. Once this is seen, a great burden falls away. You no longer need to fight your mind. You no longer need to argue with every thought. You stop trying to fix yourself and start understanding yourself. Self-awareness brings humility. You see how conditioned you are, how predictable your reactions are. And in seeing that, the reaction weakens. Awareness is not control, it is clarity. When clarity is present, action is intelligent. You respond instead of react. You listen instead of defend. You act without inner noise. That is true intelligence. This does not mean thought disappears forever. Thought is needed for language, planning, and daily function. But it returns to its proper place, as a servant, not a master. In relationships, this changes everything. You stop projecting old wounds onto new people. You listen more. You react less. You see that most conflicts are two thoughts colliding, not two truths. In daily life, you stop carrying unnecessary psychological weight. You stop reliving the past and rehearsing the future. You meet life as it is, not as thought imagines it. The mind will resist this understanding. It will try to turn it into another idea, another belief, another identity. Watch that too. Awareness includes the desire to be aware. Truth does not need belief. It reveals itself when illusion is seen clearly, and illusion cannot survive observation. You are not your thoughts. You never were. You are the awareness that sees them. And in that seeing, there is freedom, not dramatic, not mystical, but quiet, grounded, and real. Stay with that seeing. Let thought come and go. Do not chase silence. Do not resist noise. Simply watch. That watching is the beginning of a life lived in clarity. As this understanding settles, you may notice a subtle fear arise. The fear that without identification with thought, you might lose direction or motivation. But what actually fades is confusion. What remains is a quiet sense of order that does not need constant reinforcement. Action taken from awareness has a different quality. It is not rushed, not defensive, not fueled by the need to become something. It arises naturally, like breathing. You do what needs to be done without carrying psychological residue afterward. This is why awareness is not withdrawal from life. It is full participation without inner conflict. You still feel emotions, but they pass through you without becoming identity. You still think, but thought no longer dictates your worth or direction. When thought is seen clearly, compassion appears effortlessly, not as a moral ideal, but as intelligence. You see that others are also driven by unexamined thoughts, fears, and conditioning. Understanding replaces judgment. And from this understanding, a different way of living unfolds, one rooted in attention, simplicity, and truth. A life where thought serves reality instead of distorting it. A life where you are no longer at war with your own mind, but finally at home in awareness. Remember, thought only has power when you believe it is you.